kind of move down a little bit of the card. Of course, we have Craig Jones on the card as well,
Yeah.
against the up and coming or maybe the established Roberto Jimenez.
I think it's fair to say Roberto is very established at this point. He's a genuine grappling superstar at this point.
So we're obviously very excited about this match. Can I get your thoughts?
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this one?
This one to me is actually very interesting for the reason that Roberto often trains here. He comes here quite often to train and has trained on many occasions with Craig Jones downstairs in the basement. And so both athletes know each other pretty well. And that always adds something to the match. It's one thing to go in against someone who you've only seen on video. Okay, there's basically three ways you can go into a confrontation. You can go in not knowing anything about the person. Okay, that might happen at a local event where you're a blue belt, the other guy's a blue belt, you've never locked eyes on each other, you don't know anything about each other, and it's a complete mystery, and you just literally have to figure things out as you go along. Okay, that'll happen often in training. You know, you're in the gym and some stranger walks in, and you've got to figure things out. So that's one level of engagement. Second level is where you've only seen video of the person, but you never grappled them. Okay, so you do have expectations now. You've seen maybe 4 or 5 matches, you see patterns in their behavior, certain things they always seem to do. You can tell if they're left side dominant, right side dominant, but they prefer top, bottom. You can see tactics, you can, so you have expectations. You never actually physically put a hand on them, so you don't have that yet, but you do have some insight into their behaviors. And then the third category is people you've actually spent a significant amount of time working with in the past, and you've grappled them either in competition or in a gym or both. And in this case, you've got that third category where Craig and Roberto have definitely gone pretty hard with each other downstairs, and they were very, very competitive matches. Roberto has beautiful, beautiful grappling movement. He's absolute master of movement. He moves towards the back extremely well. He's got some of the best scrambles to the back you'll see in the modern grappling game, both gi and no gi. So he's extraordinarily talented. Great finishes on the back, scrambles well also in standing position, is considerably faster than Craig. Craig, on the other hand, has a game which is getting closer and closer towards Gordon Ryan's game. Gordon and Craig train together almost every day. Since he joined the basement about 2 years ago, my big thing as a coach has been to widen Craig's grappling repertoire. When he first came here, he always used to say, you know, when he was living in Australia, he would teach himself by watching video of Gary, Gordon, and Eddie in the old EBIs, and just watch that and try and reverse engineer everything he said. So one time we were talking after an event, and I said, you know, I always wanted to help out the Australian and New Zealand grappling scene. I always felt that had been one of my chief failures in life, that I'd come to America and had some success teaching grappling here, but had done nothing for the two countries in which I was raised. And Craig said, you know, I want to move to America. And I said, well, dude, this is where you're going to come. And so I feel like this is my chance to do something for in Australia. And the progress he's made has been astounding. And you saw that in the last ADCC. Everyone dismissed Craig initially as this one-trick pony who was dangerous on legs, and that was pretty much it. And in the last ADCC, you saw him attack everything from legs, back, strangles from the front, and since then he's only gotten better. He's also added a lot of positional work. His standing grappling has gotten considerably better. And because of his body type, he's not the fastest mover out there. I've been coaching him to play a similar kind of game to Gordon Ryan. Again, his body type is based more around the idea of isometric tension. That's his physical strength. And similar to the Denise match, you have a clash in body types. You've got the speedster versus the master of control. You've got a guy whose whole game is to promote his own movement versus an athlete whose whole game is to denigrate your movement. And these always creates fascinating stylistic clashes. Then you've got the complication that they know from personal experience how their game meshes with the other, which means tactics starts to become important. Now you can start to anticipate things about your opponent. Okay, last time I rolled with him, he did this to me, so now I need to do that. And that's going to add some interesting elements to the game. There won't be any dramatic surprises when they fight each other because they know each other well. So this one's going to come down to the one who learns to adapt best based on their previous experiences in the basement.